Keep on saying yes I can, and every day is better than before.
Chapter 4. Things that make you go, Things that make you go, that's funny. Speaking of things that make you go, I'm having a little trouble getting this to work. Sorry guys, give me 1 second to fix this, I apologize. Yeah, I just can't find the next screen. Oh, this is this history? Not really sure. Hey guys, I'm Mr. Turco. I'm just teaching a history lesson. I think I clicked the wrong button. Can anybody help me? Okay, yeah, sounds great. Just have a quick question. Are you the abolitionist I'm supposed to be talking about? Just gonna step out and let you guys. Sounded great. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna go back to history. Thanks. Sorry about all this. Well, sorry about that detour. Not really sure what just happened, but back to history. We'll have to move a little bit more quickly through things that make you go, Did you ever think one way about something, and then you learned something new, and so you changed your opinion? Well, here's the point. We're going to learn about how some people, called the abolitionists, tried to change the opinions of an entire nation. In today's lesson, among other things, you're going to learn the definition of the word conscience, a sense or belief a person has that a certain action is right or wrong. I'm sure we can all agree there have been times we were doing something deep down we knew was wrong, and then our conscience alerted us that we needed to change our behavior. But what happens when an entire nation is doing something wrong? Who or what will tell them to change their behavior? The main focus of today's lesson is the abolitionists. These were people who wanted to end slavery. In fighting for freedom for slaves, they were acting as the conscience of the nation, and they risked their lives to warn the nation of the evils of slavery, and that makes them real American heroes. First, you'll learn about the Crusade against slavery. Now, many believed slavery was wrong, but didn't quite know how to go about changing other people's minds, especially people who lived in the South, because most of the slaves worked and lived in the South. But you'll first learn about the abolitionist William Lloyd Garrison. He published a newspaper called The Liberator. And notice he underlines the title of the newspaper. That's right, Monsieur Beethoven. We always underline or italicize titles of books, magazines, works of art, ships, newspapers, motion pictures, etc. He started the American Anti-Slavery Society. He wanted to spread the message of the evils of slavery. I like to think of him as Willie G. Next, you'll learn about another leading abolitionist, Frederick Douglass. What made him unique is he himself had formerly been a slave, but he was able to escape. It's quite a dramatic story. In fact, you'll read about that story when you read his book, his autobiography. It's called Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave. You'll read it in 5th grade. I noticed he underlines the title of the book. That's right, Monsieur Beethoven. We always underline or italicize titles of books, magazines, works of art, ships, newspapers, motion pictures, etc. I like to think of him as Freddie D. Here's a little jingle so you can remember them both. Warning, warning, warning. You down with Willie G? Yeah, and Freddie D. You down with Freddie D? Yeah, and Willie G. Time to review. Pause the video and read the chapter. Then come back and let's see what you've learned. This is a great way to prepare to do the independent work as part of this Google Classroom assignment. What means to end or stop something completely? Abolish. That's where the abolitionist name comes from. Where did most of the enslaved people in the United States live? In the South, where the climate was more suitable for the farm work that slaves performed. A sense or belief a person has a certain action is right or wrong is a conscience. The blank is a rule or belief in many religions that encourages people to treat others as you want to be treated. The golden rule. Who was a leading or important abolitionist? William Lloyd Garrison. Now you might have said, well, wasn't Frederick Douglass also an important abolitionist? Well, that's coming into with this next question. Who was an abolitionist who had formerly been a slave? And that is Frederick Douglass. See you next time for another History Hook.